Hey there, and welcome to Midlife Unmuted. This is the show where we're spotlighting bold entrepreneurs, creators, and professionals that are 40 and up who are using live streams, right? Video podcast and on camera content to grow their business, but without chasing trends and without burning out. So, I'm your host, Tanya Smith, and I'm a video strategist, business coach, and fellow midlifer who believes that your voice is not past its prime. You're just getting started. So, today's guest has cracked the code on creating a simple, stress free marketing plan that actually brings in clients without paid ads or guesswork. And I'm super excited and thrilled that I get a chance to talk with Ed today. Ed Troxell is a marketing mentor who helps real estate agents and really anyone who hates marketing to finally feel confident showing up online. We're going to talk about how to make video feel doable and how to stop overthinking your content and why being consistent really beats being viral every single time. So help me welcome my friend, Ed Troxell. It's so good to see you, sir. Hi.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me. I am excited and honored to be on this show and be part of the Midlife crew. This is amazing.
Yes, yes, yes. And you know what? You're one of my first guests, Ed, for this
True.
inaugural episode. So just know that I am super thrilled that I get a chance to talk to you. You know, we kind of hit it off. The minute that I met you, you were actually training or doing coaching, live coaching on another person's program. And I was like, wow, I'm so vibing with this Ed guy. Who is he?
Yes, it is so true. And you said the key word vibing. Yes, that is the big one. It's all about that vibe,
It
especially
is.
in midlife here.
So tell me a little bit, is there anything that you don't normally put in your bio, but that you want people to know about before we dig into, some of the content related questions?
Yeah, I mean, I think two parts maybe that aren't in there that most people would find interesting is one, I did have a business back before this one that was part-time. It was
Mhm.
full-time, but it was part-time in my life, and it was creating a magazine. So I ended up creating a full-on print magazine and ran it for 2 years doing print and online, and it was fantastic, and we even held events because I wanted a business and I wasn't able to move to New York to work for Men's Health, so I decided why not start my own magazine company? How hard can it be? Picked up a book, and next thing I knew, I was hiring a designer and putting the magazine together and having events. So that was a big one.
That's
uh,
huge.
yeah, it was huge, and it's what led me to everything else that has come since then. And then a fun fact is I like to bowl, so I'm a pretty darn good bowler.
Oh, okay. So I know to be on Ed's team if I ever Okay. Got it. Because
Yes.
I'm not great. So you probably won't wanna be on my team, but
And that's the beauty of bowling, it's fun for everyone, like, that's what I actually love about it, is that anybody can do it and just have fun.
So speaking of having fun, because I know we kind of talked about we were, like, kicking it around the idea of talking about video and tech and simplicity, and we have fun with tech, sure. But what do you say to people who feel totally daunted by the tech side of online marketing? How do you simplify that?
Such a great question, and let's face it, tech, especially outside of our worlds, is very challenging at times,
Mhm.
and fun doesn't come into that sentence very often. So so I try to reframe it to, you're gonna have some fun with it, right? Because it is exciting and it is fun once you get past the hurdles that you're currently involved in. And for most people, they're in that situation by themselves.
Mhm.
They haven't given themselves that permission to ask for help from an outside perspective and from an expert from the outside. So in that moment, it's not fun. You're in the trenches. It is stressful. You're pulling out your hair and you're like, I don't want to do anything.
Mhm.
When you start to bring in that outside perspective and get the right guide to help support you, you can quickly, it's actually really quick oftentimes, realize it actually isn't that bad. You're not gonna wanna be pulling out your hair, and you really are actually gonna make it a little fun. I know it sounds
Mhm.
crazy in the moment, but it's true. You can have a lot of fun, and then you start to really get into it. Just like we'll talk about with content creation and video creation and all of these things. In the moment, it feels like another thing to do that you
Mhm.
don't really wanna do, but I promise you it does get a little bit more fun for you.
So, if there were one way that you would a tip that you would give someone who was really kind of fearful about even starting with the tech aspect of it, and they were like, "Oh, I just need to blow this off." What's one way you think you might suggest that they simplify?
Ooh, pen and paper and
Okay.
write out what you are struggling with. We get so caught up in the tech, and listen, I love tech and I'm all about the tech. But one thing that we forget, myself included, is that when we can get back to pen and paper and just mapping out what's in our head, that's when things start to click. So whether you're struggling with what to do, what idea you're trying to form, what you're trying to sell, what you're trying to create, whatever it is, tools, systems, all of that, get pen and paper, find a few minutes of quiet time, which I know can be challenging, but find that few minutes and literally just write down what comes to mind. There's something that comes from the brain to your fingertips and onto that pen and paper
Mhm.
that is going to help clarify things for you. And that's where we then can start working on the first part of my marketing GPS, which is your goals. That's where
Ah. Okay. So look, formulas, frameworks, all of those things, we love that around here, Ed. So you're
it is.
talking our language.
Yes. And we make it simple. That's what it's all about.
Yes, yes. And I think that's important, especially for a show like this, as we're talking to people who are midlifers and beyond. And a lot of times, the thing that I hear is, I feel overwhelmed. I don't know where to get started. I'm not sure that I can do this. So I love that you're sharing tips that really kind of take us back to the basics of like writing it down and figuring out what is it we're really wanting to accomplish. So that's great stuff. Can
Yeah,
we talk about
absolutely.
video?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, and
Okay.
I should also mention,
Yeah.
because I do realize I am a guy, and getting on video and doing all these things can be a little bit easier. So I should mention that 99% of my clientele is women,
Mm.
and women who own their business and who are typically in their second act,
Mm,
meaning
mhm.
this is something that they are running with and they're being able to, whether it's new or they've been in business for several years, this is that second act. And this is, just like you said, prime time. This is where you get to shine. And leading into video, that is the best way you can shine online. I know it might sound scary if you're like, Ed, listen, I am not getting in front of that camera.
Yeah.
Trust me, I get it. I've been there, I've done that, and so have many people that I've worked with. But just know that when you're trying to build your business, when you're trying to build your influence and your impacts and
Mhm.
really get to those goals that we were just mentioning, that's going to require you getting on camera and creating some video content.
That's right, and I think that video is really one of the things that helped me to finally get to a place where I felt like I'm much more bold. I could say what I really, really think. I can connect with people in a different way. There were just so many benefits to starting to do video years ago when I started. So I love it. But back to the question of the overwhelm and the simplifying and all of those things, we know it's crucial. We know, especially in this moment, in order to really stand out and differentiate yourself, that video is important, but it still can feel like a lot. So, do you have just one or two go to strategies that might help people to create an impactful video without burning out?
Yes, such a great question. So there's so many things that you can practice. In a nutshell, one thing is if you're really scared about getting on video, but you know you need to, start practicing with just holding your phone and looking at it. You don't even have to hit record, you don't have to share it. Literally just get comfortable with this. Now, of course, I'm going to kind of blow through a couple of these examples with you because we're short in our episode here, right? But
Mhm.
just know that you can apply some of these things. So start by doing that, just holding your phone and feeling it out, just because that feels awkward enough. Then you can take it to the next level and record something. But notice I didn't say post something,
Mm. Mhm.
record, right? We got to break these steps down to make it simple. So instead of us sitting here saying, I want you to go out there and create 30 days worth of content, you're like, oh, that sounds horrible. Like, I don't want that. And I don't have time for that. And I get it. I would feel the same way too. So instead of doing that, what if I say, just record one video this week? It's a lot more manageable, right?
Yeah.
Even if you have no idea what it's going to be about, it's still manageable because here's the next tip. One topic. What's one topic that you can speak on?
Mm.
You're the expert. You know your business inside and out. So you just need one topic. And then you're like, okay, Ed, I got I got the I got the phone holding down. I got the recording happening. I got the topic, but now what do I say? Because I already said the
Right.
topic. That took 2 seconds. So now comes in the 3 talking points. Now, this formula, and I'll recap it here in a second. This formula is meant to be super simple so that you can actually do it. So you have your topic, you have up to 3 talking points. These are not paragraphs, these are not pages of notes. These are literally bullet points. And that's what's going to be your video content. Now, let's not forget the most important thing of all of this is your call to action.
Mm.
That's CTA. So we have your topic, your 3 talking points, and your call to action. Those 3 things are going to help you record your videos and be able to put them out there. Because again, the goal is to get them out there. As much as we want to keep them on our phones, we got to get them out there so that people can get to know, like, and trust us and allow us to help support them because they need us and they're
Mhm.
looking for people like us.
So speaking of that, because I know a lot of times there's a comparison trap, right? And this is not
Oh,
even one of my official questions. It's just something that you triggered just now in saying what you said, because the comparison trap tends to hold people back from doing, really being authentically themselves. They feel like they have to do as someone else is doing in order for them to succeed, right?
yeah.
And maybe that's not their true definition of success or not the way that they're supposed to be successful. Do you have any thoughts about that
Yeah.
whole
I love that.
authenticity thing?
Absolutely. I love that you bring that up. So we're human and we're all going to play the comparison game. It's just natural. So that's okay. Allow it to come up and, oh, the XYZ, whatever comes to mind. But catch yourself and move on because we don't want to get stuck in that comparison game for too long because then it is paralyzing and we don't show up for our audience. So it's really, really important to address it because you're going to have that thought anyway, and then move forward. And also know that people get so inspired by seeing you show up on video. Why? Because they're not doing it.
Right.
And that it's huge. That is huge. And we are in such a beautiful time with content creation and marketing where the less highly produced and less edited videos, which show your more authentic self, perform better.
Mhm.
So, not that you would necessarily feel comfortable, because I know I don't, being in my PJs and recording a video, at first thing in the morning and sending that out on social media. Not that you have to do that, but understand that that could get you a lot more of not only attention, but your own qualified leads
Mhm.
than if you sat down and spent 8 hours putting together a studio shoot with a whole crew and everything that
Yep.
cost you thousands of dollars.
Yes.
Again, it's a different time and a different place, that you really want to embrace this moment, and that's why I say practice just holding the phone, just recording. Again, you don't have to post yet. You can work your way up there. It's like going to the gym, you know? You wanna get in shape, and you're like, "Okay, I'm gonna go to the gym, but I only made it to the parking lot." Okay, well,
That's me.
that's okay. Yeah, exactly. It's like, that's okay. You got dressed, you left the house, you made it to the front door. No problem. Maybe tomorrow you'll make it in the door, right? Like, whatever we have to do to build that habit. And then
Mhm.
once we build that habit, then it becomes a routine and then it's seamless.
I love that. I love everything that you said, and I know I have people that are watching right now like, "Okay." So I don't have to jump from being, totally camera shy to all of a sudden being Miss America on stage. Right.
Yes. And that's the beauty too. And this is where I think it's awesome because I will say, you also have more props, if you will, to work with,
Mhm.
and what I mean by that is a lot of videos are taking off with the "in the day of the life of what you do," right?
Yep.
Or "get ready with me."
Mhm.
Again, you may not feel comfortable showing off these different sides of you and your life, and that's totally fine. Have, write down on pen and paper, like, what you feel comfortable with, but just know you can include video as part of your routine that you do on a daily, and that's relatable for your audience. I know I have a lot of moms that I work with where
Mhm.
they don't want they feel like they have to have the perfect background because they don't want the kids running in the back or maybe the laundry piled up or whatnot.
Mhm.
But their audience is also moms who are in that same situation.
Yep.
So it's more relatable and they're going to be like, if she can do it, I can do it because we're
Mhm.
both moms.
That's
So
right.
just know that that plays to your advantage.
I'm definitely seeing and this is a shift for me that I've seen because previously I was doing a lot more produced video and even, what we're doing right now, it's produced, it's not live, but it's
Sure.
it's still, somewhat produced. But I found that just hopping on the phone, even though people are used to my live stream that I do Thursdays, if I hop on the phone and have just a simple conversation or just spend 5 minutes or less talking about something, just how my day is going or why I'm relaxing, right? I get more engagement and more interaction sometimes with those simple clips than I do with my full out production. So I
I l
totally agree with you. And I was like, "Oh, maybe I need to sit outside a little bit more with Coda, my dog."
ooh, yes. Well, see,
Uh-huh.
and that's the thing. Now you're opening up more, so you're more of a human to us, the viewers, right? And the
That's right.
listeners. And it allows us to be like, "Oh, she's got a dog. Okay,
Mhm.
that means trustworthy. Okay,
Mhm.
so check the vibe on the video, but now she's got a dog. So what's the dog's name? What do you do with the
Yes.
dog? Where
Right.
do you guys go? Is that a great park to go to?" Right? I mean, there's just all
Mhm.
these things that start to unfold, and I'm would do the same with my dogs where
Mhm.
I start to show them more. I'm down to 1 now, but I'd start to show them more, and then I actually just did this the other night. I don't really post a lot of food pictures, like,
Mhm.
especially on my business page, but the other night, I ended up making one of those fresh meal kits or whatnot because a friend gave me one,
Yeah.
and, home and whatnot,
Mhm.
and I posted that a photo of it. It wasn't a video, but I posted a photo of it, but for me, that was a little opening, I guess, because it was like, yes, people know I cook, obviously, but
Mhm.
it was one of those things where I always just talk about business. I mean, because I love entrepreneurship and I love helping people make a bigger impact
Mhm.
through their business.
Yeah.
But I added that piece to it and got attention already from people that were like, they actually read the caption of the photo.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
So I know that they tied into it and it was relatable and they loved the image because they're like, "Oh, that looked good. It actually came out close to that picture."
Yep.
So it's relatability.
That's exactly right. I mean, that's exactly how I felt when I put my photo or my video of Coda out there. They were like, "Oh, yeah, we're reading, we're engaging, we're understanding that she's a real person." So the more human you are, I think especially right now in these times where there's a lot of focus on AI and technology and bots and all of those things, I think people are craving like to know, are you real? And so we get to show people that we're real, especially through video, which I love. So I
Absolutely.
know you have a tech stack checklist. I'm just curious if you have a favorite, like one, because I know it's probably a lot, just like me.
Yep.
But is there one favorite time saving tool or system right now that you're just totally in love with and can't live without?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Without a doubt, and this one's gonna be a little too techy for most people, so there is an alternative, but I will say ClickUp. Without a doubt, ClickUp is a project management tool. It is a lifesaver, and it is a game changer for business, for sure.
Okay, I'm using ClickUp now, but I may need to come and take a class, Ed.
Yes, yeah. It's I will tell you, like, no matter who you are in business, no matter how small and mighty you might be, whether it's solo or you have a team, have a project management tool in place. You can use it for so many different things from CRM to sales to whatever comes to mind, content creation,
Mhm.
video editing, like whatever it is, but have a tool that you can use, and its project management tool will save you hours and your life, trust me.
Now, I've got one last question I'm going to ask you. But before I do that, let's showcase your website that you want to send people to because I would love for people to get connected to you. So, edtroxell.com. But this specifically is your marketing audit. Can you tell us a little bit about what people will find when they come here?
Yeah, so you can access it directly from booking a discovery call. And basically, what this will allow you to do is have some time with me. We can see where you're at, what your needs are for your business. I'll give you a plan for you to run with on your own. Or if we're a good fit and you're looking for somebody to help support you in that area of your business, then we'll talk about what that might look like. But really, this audit is to help support you in removing yourself from being in the stuck phase. You got to give yourself permission to take that next step. And just because you book a call doesn't mean that we're going to work together. You might not like my vibe, right? You might be like, well, he was great on there, but not so much here, or whatever the case may be. So give yourself that permission if you are being challenged right now to take that initiative, because at the least you're going to walk away with a few action items specifically for your business so that you can go implement them in your own business to grow.
Love it. Thank you so much, Ed. Here's my final question for you. And this is a little bit deep, but it's appropriate, I think, for the show. So, what's one way that you've chosen to unmute yourself in this season of your life?
Such a great question. And I automatically will say video in general because video has helped me step out from behind the scenes and to step in front of the camera, no matter how scary it has allowed me to really unmute myself and put myself out there, which has in turn brought in more opportunities than I ever thought was possible. And I'm not just saying just sales, it has brought in partnerships, speaking engagements, podcast interviews, shows, all kinds of things. And it wouldn't have been possible if I didn't allow myself that permission to step in front of the camera. So I really attribute a lot of my success to being on video and being able to share my knowledge and expertise because at one point I didn't know if anybody would care or want to hear from me. And then I quickly realized, yeah, they do. And they really crave it. And if I didn't do that, I would be doing a disservice to everyone,
Yeah.
including myself. So being able to say yes to video, no matter how good or bad it may be on camera, trust me, there's old videos out there that are still there that I cringe at when I look at. Um,
Me
but
too.
yeah, but again, it's putting in those reps
Yeah.
and being able to show up like, oops, I have over here. Show up, deliver, and engage. Like, those are my 3 keys to success in anything that you do, but especially business. And so you're the only one that can take that first step in showing up and being in front of that camera, and then you can deliver your content, your information, your expertise, and then you get to engage with whoever is engaging with you, and then the magic happens.
Yes. All of the things that Ed said, what he said.
Yes, yes, and that's the beauty of being able to be part of this conversation with us
Mhm.
and be able to not only learn from what we just shared in this episode, but do something with it. Take
Yeah.
one thing, even if that's simply recording a video next week, not even
Mhm.
posting it, just recording a video. Do something so that way you're taking action because it's that action that's going to propel the momentum and
Yeah.
it's going to bring you the results, whether directly or indirectly.
And I love the thing that I think is a key takeaway for me from all of the things you said is that it doesn't have to be something that you rush into and all of a sudden magically it's going to be great overnight. It is a process. And if you give yourself that permission and that grace to just take it slow, to do a few little things and to build up the reps, as you said, I think that is so key. So,
Absolutely. And that ties back into that marketing GPS we talked about briefly earlier. And just to sum that up, you have your goals, you're going to create your plan. That's what we can talk about. And then you're going to have your system. And those 3 things are what's gonna help you stay in momentum. So that way, no matter if business is up or down, you're still moving forward. Because that's the biggest challenge that most businesses face, especially right now,
that's
is
right.
they're doing a lot of stop and go marketing.
Mhm.
And that is not gonna help you in any market, let alone moving forward. So make sure you're taking action.
Very nice and a very great close. Thank you so much, Ed, for spending a little time and just sharing some of your wisdom. I know that you've done some amazing things in your life. It sounds like you've got a lot more you could probably talk about, we could talk about together, but I want to respect your time and I just appreciate you for taking the moment to just come and hang out with me. So thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. This was so much fun, and I hope that everyone enjoyed hanging out with us as well because, again, this is all of us coming together and having a great time talking about content and marketing.
And remember to go and visit Ed at edtroxell.com and you'll go to the marketing audit that you saw on screen. So just rewind a little bit if you missed that link, and we'll definitely show that in the show notes as well. Thanks again, Ed.
Thank you so much. Take care, everyone.